Hey y'all, hey, it is Kira, your favorite trauma-informed money coach from Budget and Hill, where I help women to get out of debt and out of financial survival mode through financial literacy, personal development, and accountability inside of community. So today, guys, I am super excited because I am on time, right? I am on time. I will be reviewing my paycheck budget, my last paycheck for November, which I received on November 24th. So it's technically my November 30th budget. Now, you guys know I do not waste your time and I like to get right into it. So today I created an agenda. And the reason why I created an agenda, guys, is because I realized in doing these paycheck budget videos, I actually left out the most important part. That is the preparation. Like, what do I do before I sit down to actually know my numbers, actually execute on the paycheck budget video? So I said to myself, that is a very important part that I do not add in there. I got to fix that. And I'm thinking about people that are watching these videos and people who may need help with knowing where to start, how to start, right? Or people who just want to look at a different way of budgeting, right? So today I wanted to set the stage for you guys and show you how I prepare beforehand, before completing my paycheck budget. Okay. So one of the things I do, I told you guys before in the previous video, I told you, but I didn't really go through it in depth. So I always gather my receipts, right? I always gather my receipts. I make sure I have the receipts in in any and all transactions from my last paycheck up to the current paycheck date. And I have the agenda right in my phone, guys, so I stay on track. I also do a micro review of my checking, credit card, and savings accounts. And as I'm looking at those things, I'm looking to make sure that all of the transactions have cleared, have posted, right? And the reason why that's important, guys, is because if your transactions are still pending, you might think you have extra money in your account, but you don't. It's just that those transactions haven't cleared or haven't posted yet. Okay. And that's when we're reminded, right, to check them off, the transactions off, right, on our cash flow compass. That's the purpose of our cash flow compass, to track our expenses and to make sure when we actually paid it and when those payments have actually cleared. Right? Sorry about that. Right? And then I also verified, like I said, that the transactions have cleared and are not pending. Right? And we also confirm, you also want to confirm your auto payment dates, right? What day is that auto payment coming out? And you want to confirm the delivery dates. What dates are those auto pays scheduled to drop? You want to make sure you review this information because you want to make sure you have enough money in your actual account. I know for me, on my high yield savings account, I have my savings coming out on auto pay every bi-weekly, right? But sometimes that date can fall before I actually get paid. So I might have to go in and modify that date to change it to make sure that when the auto pay hit, I have enough money in there. So yes, some people say auto pay is a set it and forget it, but I challenge that because you have to make sure that those dates fall on the date in which you have money in your account. Okay. So with that being said, that is my agenda. Okay. And hopefully that's helpful. That is the thing. Those are the things that I do prior to sitting down, completing my paycheck budget. And that is a very, very, very important part. Now, one other thing I wanted to mention, that process for some people might take up to a week, right? Especially when you're first starting out, it can be overwhelming. So I always say, go over your receipts, right? Go over your receipts day one. Day two, look at your checking account transactions, right? Day three, look at your credit card transactions. Day four, do it like that, right? If you use more than one credit card, you want to look at the next one on the next day. So all of this gathering of information for your paycheck budget may take you 5 to 7 days, and that's okay. No one's in a race. We are not in a race. We're not in competition. That is okay. You just want to make sure you're gathering all the information that you need so you make sure your numbers are accurate, okay? So without further ado, let's jump into my paycheck budget. So I got paid this pay period, the usual. $1,803.30 was my paycheck for this pay period. And I got paid on November 24th, right? And this was my second pay period. So for my school nursing job, that's where that came from. $1,803.30. I also made a transfer from one of my accounts, from one of my savings accounts of $250 to my checking account. I had leftover of $532.65. I had that leftover from the previous paycheck budget. The previous paycheck budget and previous paycheck budgets. So that's just a summary all of my leftover funds that I had. So that total in the income section, that total brings me to $2,585.95. Now, when we come over to the savings section, right, just want to read this to you guys. In the income section, it says, count your blessings. Each paycheck is a stepping stone toward your goals, okay? In the savings section, it says, think and plan ahead. Your future self will thank you for the choices you make today, okay? That's a little inspo, a little encouragement on our way as we're completing our paycheck budget, right? And we're saving money, because sometimes when you're saving money, you can feel like, I want money, I want things right now. But it is important to address that part of you too. So yes, we're saving money, but we're also spending money on things that align with our core values, things that are important to us, right? So we're not suffering, just to be clear, right? Nobody's suffering. We're not doing that. We're saving money for the future and enjoying our lives today, okay? Now, there may be a window of time where you have to make certain sacrifices, but we're still finding joy even in those moments, okay? So for our savings, our stress-free sinking fund, we're saving $100 this pay period. And if you guys notice, I save for an emergency fund every single pay period. Even though I have my fully funded emergency fund, I still save a little something, because you never know what could happen. And it's better to be prepared than not, right? So investment sinking fund, I'm saving $400 this pay period. Birthday sinking fund, I'm saving $65 this pay period. Vacation sinking fund, I'm saving $70 this pay period. And my Roth IRA, that's my retirement IRA account. This is the one that's tax-free, guys. So all the money I put in here, all of the money I put in here that grows and compounds over time, all of that money will be tax-free, right? So I am contributing $437.50 this pay period. That brings my total savings for this pay period to $1,072.75. That is a blessing. Like I always remind you guys, I have not always been able to save money. It wasn't until I paid off $111,722.47 of student loans, personal loan, and credit card debt that I have been able to save money consistently. So I am grateful for what I'm able to save every single pay period. So when we come down, guys, to the recurring bills section, now, just as a reminder, the difference between recurring bills and expenses, recurring bills are the bills that we pay consistently over and over and over, such as rent, food, gas, Easy Pass, transportation. Those are recurring bills, right? Y'all hear the sirens? We're going to ignore that, because in life there are a lot of distractions, and guess what? We have to stay focused despite the distractions, right? Because we cannot control all distractions. So we're just going to stay focused, okay? So for rent, initially I budgeted for $921.11, but I ended up paying the entire balance for my rent, which is $1,389.65, right? Gas, I budgeted $30, and that's how much I'm paid. Food, now keep in mind, my food for this paycheck, I think that's a parade. That's actually a parade. That's what that is. I hear the music too. That's a parade. nonetheless, staying focused. Okay, so food, guys, I budgeted for $53. But here's the thing. This is for December 1st. The food budget is for December 1st, okay? We're going to spend that money on December 1st. How about we pause for a second? I just had to make sure you guys couldn't hear what I'm hearing. And listening to the video playback, I couldn't hear it, so we're safe. We're good to go. Okay, so like I was saying, guys, for the food, I budgeted $53 for this particular pay period, even though the food will be purchased December 1st, because like I said in my previous video, I'm pretty good on food for this month. But I'm going to purchase food on November 1st, which is Monday, and today is Saturday. So it's not that big of a deal. It's just that I like to, stay on track, stay on task sometimes. So that's why I'm waiting till December 1st. So laundry, $30. Again, that starts the December 1st budget. But I am using this particular paycheck to pay for that, okay? If that makes sense. Easy Pass, $10. I still have $23 on my Easy Pass, so I decided to only add $10 because on a month-to-month basis, I historically only pay $30 for Easy Pass, right? So for the total recurring bills is $1,512.65. Okay, that is the total balance for all recurring bills for this particular pay period. As a reminder, guys, this paycheck budget is not for the whole month. It's just for one pay period. And the reason why I created this is to help you to manage your budget in a way that does not feel overwhelming. Some people don't want to do a month-to-month budget because it can feel overwhelming. So I created the paycheck budget that you do one paycheck. You're only working on one paycheck at a time so that you do not feel overwhelmed, okay? Now, with that being said, based upon my total balance for my recurring bills, which is $1,512.65, right? I basically have, I'm not going to tell you guys how much I have left over. I'm going to leave that, but it's a very interesting story behind that. So moving forward, guys. Oh, I'm sorry. And the quote here says, pay your bills on time. Punctual payments pave the path to peace. Okay. Now in the expense section, as we stated, the expense section is for one-offs, things you pay for one time. So like, for example, brunch with your bestie. Let's say you're going on a spa day, right? Let's say you're doing something one time. It typically happens one time. It's not a reoccurring thing like paying for food or paying for gas or paying for your rent or mortgage, right? It happens one time. So I don't have any expenses as of yet for this particular pay period. So that's none. Yay. And then in the debt section, oh, sorry, guys. For the expenses quote, it says, spend wisely. Each decision today shapes your financial freedom tomorrow. In the debt category, it says, clear your debts, clear your mind. Freedom starts with accountability. I don't have any debt payments for this pay period. I told you guys I'm going on a credit card holiday in which I am not utilizing my credit card. The next time I utilize my credit card, it might be January, maybe February, but for sure none in December. I do not celebrate Christmas. I do not shop for Christmas. I'm not a real holiday person. I'm more of historically my family does celebrate like Christmas and different holidays like that. I will go over my family's house for holidays. I didn't go this holiday. A recent holiday, Thursday, I didn't go. I stayed home in a bed and rested. I had a very busy week, but I'm going to see them today. But I don't typically celebrate holidays like that, so it doesn't impact me financially. I'm more of a birthday type of person. Like I'll, show you love on your birthday, something like that. But the holidays, nah. So coming over, guys, to our budget summary. It says, take control of your finances. You got this, okay? And the reason why these quotes are so important is because I know from personal experience how challenging it could be to be consistent with doing a budget, consistent with having motivation to do a budget, and to end that learning curve around learning how to complete a budget, right? So I just added these quotes to help you to keep going and motivate you as you go along on your journey, okay? So, based upon my actual spending, right, I have a total balance left of, are you ready for this? Drum roll. 55 cents, guys. I have 55 cents left over from this paycheck budget. Now, again, what do I always say? I am grateful for every bit I have, right? Because having a positive 55 cents makes me feel better emotionally than having a negative 55 cents. Now, one of the things I always stress, guys, is to be grateful for what you have, right? In real time, be grateful for what you have so that what you have can expand. And don't forget, when you're able to manage a little bit, you'll be able to manage more, okay? So I know you guys are enjoying your day, and I do not want to hold you up from that. So I hope this video was helpful to you. Please do not forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share if you care, right, with others so that they can get help with their journey along the way also. And drop in a comment, guys, what part of this video was helpful for you. If something was confusing for you, drop that in the video too. And I'm wishing you guys a healthy, safe, productive, amazingly fun, peaceful, and fulfilling weekend ahead, okay? All right, y'all. Later.